Happy Wednesday, everyone. I'm Cassandra Joan Butler, and this is Cosmic Connections. And oh dear, I should turn off my phone. I just heard it beep. I always do this double check, so please don't call me right now because I won't be able to answer you. Welcome to Cosmic Connections. We're going to be talking about, like we do every Wednesday, the astrology for the week, and then we top it off with having some spiritual messages. And this, my friends, is the new moon week. And we are still early enough in this lunation to sit down, write yourself a letter. What is it you would like to manifest in your life? And why I would suggest using writing is because we're in the communication time of the year, which is Gemini. Welcome, Joanne, Amy, Christina, my dear sister. Hello, Maria and Karen. Hello, friends. I was just thinking about you, Karen, Christine, and Amy. Hi, Patricia. Good evening, friends. Karen, you just popped in my mind just like that. And of course, I had a question because Karen knows everything about this new world we're living in regarding computers. Anyway, new moon friends, write it down. Why? The new moon's in an air sign. And so every new moon is not created the same. They're all equivalent, but this one is about articulating what you'd like to manifest in your world. Identify, if you know your chart, wherever Gemini falls, and then, seriously, write a letter to yourself. Dear self, I would like to attract X, Y, and Z in my life. And then at the full moon, you're going to see a little bit more of a way ahead. What I'm talking about, friends, are the lunations, right? Every month we have 8 phases of the moon, and each phase is full of different activities for us to achieve what we'd like to achieve, whether we're aware of that or not. So tonight I'm going to talk about the new moon, and then I'm going to talk about the next phase, which is crescent, which is happening on the 4th. And a whole lot of stuff is happening at the end of this week, right? We still have the ruler of Gemini, which is Mercury, retrograde. And so take advantage of this retrograde. I know people get a little sheepish. I get a lot of calls during the Mercury retrograde. Cassandra, should I do X, Y, and Z? And like, for example, a client yesterday, she was being interviewed for a job that was coming about last year at this time. And she's decided to take the job because they were talking about it last year. Well, see, that's the essence of a Mercury retrograde. We go backwards in order to go forwards. And then when Mercury goes direct, we are able to manifest our plans in a more linear fashion. A retrograde is all about taking a time out and a breather. Hello, dear Marty. Hope to see you down at the Dales very soon. James, Laura, Cindy, Shirley. Hello there. Hi, Karen S. and Jen and Dion and Leslie. Hello. Hello, Rebecca. Good evening. Kathy M., Terry M., and Maria B. Thanks for being here. And by the way, sending love, gratefully accepted, Laura, and sending it all out to all of you. Hi, Marcy. If you are so inclined or inspired, sharing is caring. And hi, Retta. Hi, Mary. Jean. Share this in midstream. It's always great to share this with your friends. I'm so naive. I feel like everyone on the planet accepts and understands astrology, but that isn't always the case. I guess I surround myself with spiritual types of friends, right? Hi, Leonora. Good evening, Marianne. Hi, sweetie. Thanks for being here, everybody. So let's talk about the new moon. The new moon was on Moon Day, and let's talk about the crescent, which will be on the 4th. So we did talk a little bit about the new moon last week, but I'm going to give you a little bit more information. The Gemini new moon. Gemini new moon. What's Gemini? It's the birds. It's the bees. It's Tinkerbell. It's Peter Pan. Gemini is flight. It's air. It's the mind. It's networking. I love to say that Gemini is the Roman numeral 2, right? Well, that's the way we think. We're always doing yes, no, no, yes, on, off, up, down, darkness, light, good, bad. We think in polarity. And Gemini is the thinker. So as we go through this next cycle of Gemini, you'll be thinking about thinking, and watch how you're talking to yourself, right? I'm sure we all do this, right? We're guilty as charged. You wouldn't say nasty things to your best friend that in your silence of your mind you may have said to yourself. So no criticism. Hold the criticism, please, during Gemini. Become aware of your words. Words matter. Gemini is youthful, it's playful, smart, the networker, reading, writing, speaking, communication, clever, curious, and charming. So you don't have to be a Gemini to be these things, but wherever Gemini falls in your chart, you tend to radiate these qualities, right? So if you're a Gemini moon, you're that way emotionally with your friends. If you're a Gemini in your partnership house, you want that type of partner to be in your life, i.e., for example, if you're a Sagittarius rising. I know I'm talking to a lot of astrologers, but I want you to always remember, if you're new to this field, to this discipline of understanding, that all of us have all the signs. There's no one sign that's better than the next. Every sign has its shadow, every sign has its positivity, and Gemini, in its positive, is the networker and the thinker. All right, here's the new moon. And the new moon was on the 30th on Memorial Day. And I hope that many of you had, it's always kind of a little awkward to say Happy Memorial Day because memorializing our veterans, war dead, isn't always happy, but gratitude and reflection is always appropriate during Memorial Day. Memorial Day, of course, was founded right around, it used to be called Decoration Day, and its origin comes from the time of the Civil War, right? So it's kind of an interesting time when people would go to the graves of loved ones and decorate with flowers and so forth. And I think in modern era, many of us do the tradition of planting. If you're in Buffalo, New York, you can pretty much guarantee we won't have a frost after the 30th of May, although we've seen more strange things than that. Well, this new moon is firing us up because it's positioned in a sextile formation, 30-degree angle to Mars and Jupiter. So my essence of interpreting Monday to Wednesday would be something like this. I've got so much I want to do, but I feel the cork is still in the bottle. I can't quite muster things up, but it's like I'm grinding my gears. So that's the question of the week. Have you been feeling like you're grinding your gears? You've got this vision for your future. You really want to get on with things. And yet you can't quite put it into first gear, whatever your motivating force might be. And I was interpreting that today. Actually, I talked to my sister about it. I thought, I think I'm depressed. You know, I know everyone knows what depression feels like. And sure enough, I looked at the charts, and there it was. In that moment, Mars was squaring the moon. So this was kind of a bristly day, right? Mars is action. The moon is sensitive. And I was by myself, you know, doing work and so forth and catching up with paperwork. And yet I was feeling that angst. So that might be a feeling you experienced today. It was right around midday, like 1, 2 o'clock in the afternoon. That's a momentary pass, by the way. And that's what I love about astrology. I do this all the time. And in my classes, I suggest to my new students or anyone who'll listen, if you're feeling a really interesting emotion, whether that be good or whether that be not good, check the ephemeris. In that moment, you might be perceiving a shift in the sky. It's so subtle. Like there was no reason for me to be down, but I had that right around midday. And sure enough, the moon was squaring Mars because Mars is action and the moon is emotion. And but anyway, this is the overreaching feeling for this month, friends. The new moon is sextiling Mars and Jupiter. So again, we're trying to rev up and go forward, but wait until Mercury goes direct in a couple of days for the motors to start going into gear. The new moon is also promising, I left these notes here, the comfort of self-care. When in doubt of the chaos out there, and out there might be your job or your family or the world at large, kind of go inward and do the self-care dance. And that self-care dance is represented by the Grand Trine in water. Hygeia, Ceres, and Vesta. In other words, prayer, spirituality, Vesta, Ceres, good food, good nutrition, and Hygeia are talking to each other. If I eat right, if I practice my faith, and the result is Hygeia, hygiene, health. So that would be something to keep uppermost in your mind, right, for this new moon. Pluto squaring Eris, Pluto in conjunct chaos. My dear friends, need I say any more? It's almost like I've been turning a glassed eye away from media of any stripe right now, because I think we're all inundated with the very real chaos. Yeah. There's an asteroid called Chaos, and Eris, the maverick asteroid of unpredictability, and Pluto, which means transformation. They're all circling and connecting with each other. We may be feeling a sense of despair of not being able to make an impact in all the chaos in the world. So that's going on. And Mercury's conjunct the North Node. Now, that may inspire you. The North Node is about the path we're going on, and Mercury is the mind. We might be getting back on our path. It's becoming clearer to me. This is what I need to do. The nodes are about the path we take in this life, not the job, not the guy, not the gal, not whatever the accoutrements of our lives, but the overreaching journey. So Mercury is making us reflect, hey, what's it all about? So that's another thing with this beautiful new moon. Okay. So the Sabian symbol is an airplane taking a nosedive, but it doesn't crash. This is the Sabian symbol. This is the image of being impulsive enough to trust the process and strong enough to know that you have the courage and the know-how and the ability to right yourself, even though you're taking something that's a little daring, the airplane taking a nosedive, and knowing at the last minute, at the 11th hour, you can turn the wheel and you can get yourself out of a nosedive. So this particular Sabian symbol of the new moon that we're experiencing right now, friends, is asking you to take a risk. Plunge into something with confidence. And you know what? You might be wrong. But if you are wrong, you can still correct yourself in your decision making. Go for it. This is a go for it type of energy, and it's mentally focused. All right. So that's what the new moon is asking us to do. Now, the main thrust of this week comes on the 4th. Lots of stuff happening on the 4th, the end of this week. Number one, friends. Let me get my notes here. Number one, it's a big day, the 4th. The moon is in what we call crescent phase. And the crescent phase of the month simply means you got an obstacle in your path. Now, what are you going to do about it? Are you going to go around it? Are you going to go over it? Are you going to ignore that obstacle? Crescent basically teases us to have the faith to get through our inconsolable hesitancy and insecurity and keep on moving through to get to the other side of whatever we want to manifest. So set your manifestation now, write it out. And then at the crescent phase on the 4th, you can start to expect some obstacles, but still work through them. The Sabian symbol is a pageant with spectacular, what does it say? Floats, moves across the street, crowded with cheering people. Why don't you be your own cheerleading squad for yourself? Are you the float or are you the cheering people? Again, these Sabian symbols are odd, but they're very powerful. Once we get to that place on our calendar on the 4th, you may be saying to yourself, I really want to move forward in this way. I might have to be my own cheerleader. Don't go for, the feedback from someone else. Feedback yourself. Give yourself food and cheer yourself on. You can be, we can be, individually and together, spectacular. And don't be afraid of being noticed. That's what, float and a parade is all about. Don't be afraid to strut your stuff. Pluto, meanwhile, is now trining Mercury, and thank goodness it's finally direct. And it's been retrograde since May 10th. It's a time of reflection, rebirth, rebooting, remembering, all that stuff since May 10th. Doesn't May 10th seem like an awfully long time ago? Because so much stuff has been happening in the outer world. But whatever's been going on in your personal life, you've been reflecting on that as well. And so as Mercury goes direct, you're going to be able to manifest in the external world more comfortably. And it's like a stop and go thing, because Saturn goes retrograde at that point on the 4th at 5:47 p.m. That's Eastern Daylight Time. Uranus was conjunct Pallas. Pallas is the job gal. She's also the advocacy. What friends in your life do you want to advocate for? What do you believe, right? Do you advocate for, I don't know, cooking bread, gardening? What is your passion that you want to advocate? So that passion is going to be activated by Uranus. Jupiter is conjunct Mars, and we're really feeling like we want to take, let's get out of there. We want to take the corks off the bottle. So we'll be better able to implement and manifest and put into practice the goals and the ideas we have right now. Okay. Hello, Melody. Yes. Positive manifestation. Yes. And sometimes it really, really works so easily. And that's what I'm talking about, Melody. Nice to see you. Hello, Deborah. Nice to see you. I see. Okay. We've all been through a lot of obstacles in the past few years. Amen to that. Absolutely. And Maria has one more obstacle. Yes. And you can see the obstacles. Think positive with this manifestation. Most comfortable. Okay. Didn't we have the Sabian symbol not that long ago? I talked about last week as well, Rhonda, but because the new moon is happening now, I'm also every week I'm going to do a double whammy. I'm going to talk about the two things that are happening this week. So there's something else that's happening. For example, this week, we have the new moon, but on the 4th, we're doing the crescent moon, the pageant symbol. Does that make sense? So it's a dualism. Yes, thank goodness it doesn't crash. Trusting, and trust. Good evening. Hi, Kate. Thank you. Your North Node is in Cancer. Very good, Melody. Indeed it is. So the moon in the sky today was going over that North Node. So you may have gotten a hit about what you want to manifest. Big story. All right. Does that make sense? Self-care. We can never get too much self-care, right? Scorpio, Melody. All right. A bit before I was in the dentist chair. A good day. A lot done. Oh, interesting. You're in the dentist chair today, Rhonda, because the dentist, and any sort of surgery is represented by Mars. So Mars, Jupiter. So I trust you had a good session. Not that you had surgery. I have no idea. It's not my job to ask you what you were there for. But Jupiter conjunct Mars this week and next week would also give us, I think, more of a positive push for anything surgical. Nice to see you, Kathy G. All right. Hi, Kimberly. Good to see you. Yes. It is a relief. And the other thing about this week's energy with the new moon, it's almost like our minds have been so overloaded. We just kind of want to have calmness. We want to take care of our everyday environment, our everyday schedule. The schedule's a little thrown a bit because in the United States, of course, we had celebrated Memorial Day. That's a federal holiday. So if you were like most people, this seems a little bit of an off week. but we want to have comfort in our thoughts and organizing our schedule, getting things done. That might be another aspect of this week. On Sunday, by the way, we do have a very tight T-square between the moon, Mercury, and Saturn, and a T-square can create some internal stubbornness and opposition. So if you feel yourself losing control, know that your family member and your best friend is feeling the same thing. So when we have a T-square involving Mercury, kind of put a lid on maybe saying something you might regret. So there's some tension this upcoming Sunday. I'm going to go through all the signs for you now and talk about the crescent cycle. So that's from the 4th until the next time we meet. And then we'll talk about the first quarter. So a crescent, rebuild and work through the obstacles, friends, beginning on June 4th. Do your manifestation identification right now until the 4th. And for the Aries or Aries rising, you do want to play. You want to use this energy to play more effectively, to tap into that inner child, to be creative, and maybe invite a little romance into the world, right? Be a little bit frivolous, Aries. For Taurus or Taurus rising, reconnect with family members. Take a look at your surroundings in your home. Make some home improvement, even if it's a good cleaning, a good spring cleaning. Take care of the people that you live with and or are related to. For Gemini or Gemini rising, this particular energy starting on the 4th and moving forward till next week is all about taking care of your schedule, taking care of paperwork, taking care of the running of your life. If you've neglected that, it would be a good time for Gemini to get back on the saddle for that. Cancer or Cancer rising, it is all about your income and your self-worth and value. You might be looking at ways to improve your money picture and reviewing your budget. For our Leos or Leo rising, that pageant Sabian symbol of 14 degrees of Leo is activating you, Leo, or Leo rising. So all eyes are on you. You are able to become a little bit more charismatic and confident and feeling more vital with this energy. Virgo, it's almost the opposite. Physically, you might be a little bit more tired, but emotionally or spiritually, you're on fire. Watch your dreams, Virgo. You might actually have some fantastic new dreams and inner guidance. For Libra or Libra rising, it's all about your social life. Connect with those people that you love and you haven't had a chance to spend time with, to be more social. For Scorpio or Scorpio rising, this crescent cycle is saying, get through those obstacles. You have a vision for your career, Scorpio. Just go ahead and do it. Have confidence. Be that plane flying through the sky and take a risk for Scorpio or Scorpio rising. Sagittarius, it's about you going on an adventure, having some fun, maybe planning a trip, taking a trip, being very forthcoming and expressing your truth for our Saggy friends. For Capricorn or Capricorn rising, this lunation is benefiting your long-term financial picture and or your knowledge and your internal sense of well-being using spiritual or psychological means. You're empowering yourself, basically, Capricorn. For Aquarius or Aquarius rising, all eyes are on your partner. And you might ask yourself, am I being a good partner to my beloved? Right? Am I understanding them? Am I investing my time and my attention into my BFF or my spouse? For Pisces or Pisces rising, this lunation on the 4th is saying, hello, it's time to get organized with your work. And it's time to get organized with regards to your health. So be disciplined, take the pain to do whatever you need to do and get organized. All right, a big hello to Crystal and Susie. Hello there, Susie Woo. I'm glad you like the horoscopes. Amy, nice to see you. My lovely Taurus friend, happy birthday. Hi, Mary, you're having crazy dreams. Makes sense for the Virgo. Yes. Dancing and laughing, loving life. Fantastic, Susie. Jill, you Gotta focus on yourself. Right, Jill? You've been dancing, Deanna. Hi, Kimberly, with your Aries moon. Okay. She fixed a tip. Okay, you're so nervous. She did a great job. Yep, all that Mars conjunct Jupiter. She was precise. You need more calm. Absolutely. You're all very welcome. And by the way, hi, Cheryl, cousin. No trip. The kids are coming here to Florida. Well, you did kind of travel. Oh, I had such a fabulous time with my family. There's nothing like a butler when it comes to partying. Can I just tell you that? Um, I love the Butler blood that surges through my veins, right? The Butler Bilski clan. Well, I should just say Butler, but we had a wonderful celebration for my uncle who just turned 90. And by the way, he's a Gemini. Remember I said about youthful? Yeah, youthful. He's 90 years young. I'm telling you, Uncle Jerry's a pleasure. He's awesome. All right. Good. All right. So there you go, friends. We're going to do a little sharing is caring. Please share if you're inspired, because if you share, you are going to win a month of the Lunar Lights Club. Let me talk about the Lunar Lights Club. I really hope you consider joining. I'm going to put my website on there. It's a subscription service. You get lots of discounts for readings and classes and all sorts of stuff. And you will really understand the phases of the moon. I mean, you won't even have to invest seeing me on Wednesdays. I do these specialized reports just on your chart. And then you get videos. You get 2 videos, the new moon video and the full moon video. And the people who've been doing it usually like it enough to stick with it for years. So it's a fun service, and I love doing it. So the person who is shared in the past is going to receive a month of the Lunar Lights Club. And the winner of tonight is, closing my eyes, okay, Anne-Marie Chardonnay. Anne-Marie Chardonnay. I don't think she's in the room, or at least I didn't see her name come up. Okay. So congratulations, Anne-Marie. I will get in contact with you. Hi, Crystal. I'd love to see you too. All right. Hi, Linda. You can always, of course, just, book a reading online, or you can connect with me on my cell and I can help you book. Okay. Thank you for wanting a reading, because we're shifting gears now, friends. Is now the spiritual part of this particular connection, the cosmic connection. And if you have to be in the room for this, right? I close my eyes, use my finger, I randomly select 2 people, and hope spirit can speak to you with clarity. Okay, dear God, please allow me to serve. Please allow my words be filled with love and light, truth, inspiration, and healing for the highest and the best as we align ourselves with the Holy Spirit. Amen. Okay. All right. Kimberly Pekku, I'm with you. All right. You're still in the room, I presume, Kimberly? Kimberly. Yes, thank you. All right, sweetheart. So the first image I'm getting for you is has to do with, it's almost like scratching, cultivating the ground. And I don't necessarily mean just like weeding and getting rid of weeds, but you're it's almost like you're pacing and trying to come up to the next solution with how you're being grounded, Kimberly. It's like there's a sense of, I'm impatient, I'm pacing, I'm scratching the ground, I'm wearing out the ground with my pacing. So it's this image is meaningful in 2 ways. Number one, you might literally be preparing flower beds or veggie beds by scratching and cultivating, or you might just actually be extraordinarily just like sighing and wanting to get some answers, and you've been waiting to have some boundaries and barriers relieved in your life. And it's impatience, but there's no anger attached to it. It's almost like you have to connect with your sense of patience and trust. So I'm getting those two things at first. I'm also getting an image for you of a memorial. Of course, we just had Memorial Day, but thinking very mightily about some people who have passed and you're memorializing them. It may be a sense. Okay. Oh, okay. You're literally on the ground with your fingers in the dirt. Thank you, Kimberly, for that. Because I was seeing that. I was saying, why is she scratching the earth? Thank you for the validation, Kimberly. I don't know if there's a anniversary date that's coming up, but you wanted to do something special. I'm getting at the end of June. All right, the end of June. This feels like it's a father energy or grandfather energy, a birthday or an anniversary of their passing, and you wanted it might be a significant time passage with this person who's been in spirit. I'm going to go with the father figure, and what he is saying to you is that his biggest thrill as he's observing you in your life is that you have taken on both the male and female way of making decisions, that you're not just trusting your intuition and sitting back, but you're a little bit more forward in your expression and more assertive. And so there's a balance here. And he's taking credit for that. All right. Okay, your loved ones were with me. Okay, and birthday is coming up. Thank you, Kimberly, for that confirmation. So what he's saying is that he's very proud of the way that you have balanced yourself, and he's saying something really interesting. We've all heard this expression, the good die young. I'm not sure if he felt like he died too young, but he's saying sometimes you can pack in a lifetime in 19 years. So I don't know if there's someone that you know who passed at age 19. It wasn't him, but at 19 years, and that, or maybe it was 20. I'm not sure. At the 19th year, something like this. That sometimes we have old souls, and he's saying that you were always an old soul, that you always had the maturity of someone older, and he's so proud of you from the other side, Kimberly, and that you have expanded your spiritual awareness threefold in the past 3 years. Now, I think that's a message from spirit. I don't think that's your father, but you've expanded your spiritual propensity or skill set threefold. You're much more intuitive in the past 3 years. Something happened 3 years ago, pre-COVID. Like you're on this path, and then bang, you just got this intuition that is phenomenal. So I'll leave that with many blessings, Kimberly. Okay. Let's do another one. Okay. I picked you again, Kimberly. You just had one. All right. Okay. Marcy Ann, I'm with you. Marcy Ann. My fingers came to you. Does that make sense? Endings and beginnings, Kimberly. Good. I'm glad that it makes sense. When I do these readings, I remind all of you I'm just the messenger. So, yay, Marcy Ann. I'm tuning in your energy, and the first thing that comes to mind is music. And using your throat. I mean, singing. I think you do more than singing in the shower, Marcy Ann. I think at some point you actually trained musically, but even if you think you don't have a good voice, it's like I'm lilting. I'm expressing myself through music. And some of them are old hymns, as I'm getting. The old hymns, the old spiritual hymns. Who am I with? I'm with a grandmother, Marcy Ann, who loved to belt them out, the old hymns. And then I'm getting Broadway hits, the old Broadway musicals. And it's not that I'm not going to just focus on the music, but there's something about the muse within when you are driving in particular by yourself and you're listening to the radio or listening to your Apple Music or something and singing, that is a form of meditation for you. Because I would say that you are at a crossroads. You're like lifting off the mantle of responsibility. The family or friends around you can do things more on their own. So Marcy Ann is trying to figure out what's going to give her joy and creative inspiration moving forward. It's not just the music. There's a lot of things. I'm getting four things. If someone were to ask you, Marcy Ann, what are the things that give you joy? Rattle them off, look at that list, and start focusing on one or the other. And one of them is some form of decorating. At first I was going to say decorating cakes, but I'm seeing decorating the home or decorating. You've got a very beautiful eye for beauty and decoration. And while we would all probably go broke if we were always redecorating our home, you have an eye for shifting things around and shifting the energy around. I'm getting feng shui with you. Isn't that interesting? Looking at the science and the spirituality of your surroundings when you do look at your home. Okay, let's see. And start a tea house. Are you really serious? Okay. Oh, you start want to make pottery. Okay, lovely. Or start a tea house. How about you do a tea house that you have beautiful local pottery on the shelf? Do it both, Marcy Ann. Okay. And you think that's your Aunt Phyllis, the one who's belting out the music, because she was a big personality, but very pious at the same time. But she, Aunt Phyllis is saying, but if she was cross, you would know it. And she wasn't afraid or ashamed or embarrassed to even do an off-color joke once in a while. She was quite the personality, and she's with you. And she wants you to have fun with this new creative venture. All right. She sang and she played guitar. Thank you. All right. How wonderful. Jen and Marcy talk to each other. Larger than life. Yep. She was just, here I am, folks. I'm getting the astrological message for you at the end of July, Marcy Ann. We have a very important configuration in the sky. We have Uranus conjunct the North Node, and that's when you might be able to sit down and do some modifications of your plan. And it might come about faster than you think. And you might have some co-op investors. Seriously, you might want to talk to our friend Jen. I have no idea where you girls are in the world, but isn't that cool? When you have this vision, you've been playing with it for a while, but again, you're more free to pursue what you'd like to pursue. At the end of July, you get some real concrete tools on what to do, how to do it. But I get the word co-op. Maybe go in with someone. All right, let us know, Marcy Ann, if that makes sense. We have a date, okay? All right. Lovely friends. All right. Well, you guys have been such beautiful, wonderful observers of this cosmic connection this evening. And I appreciate you being here. Sending you all love, sending you all upliftment, and use the energy to set your intentions and welcome Mercury going direct on the 4th. But understand that Saturn going retrograde, I think what that's going to do is kind of divorce us a little bit from the impulse of authorities, whether the authorities be the authorities or your boss or critical features in government. We're going to be stepping back and saying, I'm my own authority. So listen to your own inner voice, your own inner authority, friends. That's the message of the Saturn retrograde. No one should ever take that autonomy away. God bless, and see you next week. Oh, and I think I'll be on CIA in about 20 minutes. I think. Fingers crossed. Bye now.